Okay, ladies and gents, so for the final of these three videos talking to the developers, we've got John. John, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Would you like to explain your role on Empire City Undergrowth a little bit to the boys and girls?
Yeah, well, I'm sure the others will say similar, but working in a team of three, you don't really have just one role.
Mm-hmm,
You have many roles. Recently I've been involved in the development of the forum for the site. I've done all the anti-AI. I've created all the levels you've seen so far in the demos. I could go on. Like for a while now, I've been doing a lot of the things that are kind of the backbone of it, and then we can fill it in with content later. Lots of things, such as the abilities system, which is basically.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit. Basically now, creatures' attacks are based on data rather than hard coded into each creature. Mm-hmm. So you can bring up there's like a spreadsheet of like CSV spreadsheet that's got for the creature's abilities I'll actually bring them up on my screen whilst I'm talking about them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good idea.
I can talk about these data files.
Yep, great idea.
Yeah, we've got abilities linked to effects, creature abilities, creature stats, effects, game text there on the right as well, which is text that appears in the game. So basically, this is really quite a complicated system. What it ends up with is creatures being able to do a lot of different things just through data. So a creature has abilities. Abilities can have effects. So an ability is like an attack. An attack can have an effect like poison, stun, things like that. So you can create any arrangement of these abilities in any way you want. So, for example, the Devil's Coach Horse Adult has that spray attack.
Yep.
So I'll show you the data for that. So the creature is linked to this ability here, which is Devil's Coach Horse Adult Spray. It's an attack. It has no minimum range, so they can do it from as close as they want. It has a maximum range, has a damage amount, it has a damage type. So we're going to have physical damage and venom damage types, which creatures will be able to have different resistances for. You see, there's loads of stats to play with in this. It's got an AoE radius, so it's an area of effect attack. It's got a rate at which it can be used. It's got a cooldown on it, and all these things refill. Yeah, so cooldown refills charge. So attacks can have charges as well, so you can use like it 3 times and so recharge.
Yeah, does this system mean it's going to be much easier to implement in the future rather than hard coding everything individually?
Exactly. Yeah. But what it also means is that it opens up possibilities in the future. So if someone wanted to create their own type of creatures, they could do it through data rather than actually having to.
Okay, a little hint of potential modding or something in the future going on there. Perhaps.
Yeah, we can cross off.
Yeah.
If we get.
Okay, right. Yeah. Obviously, that depends on the future. Right. Okay. So the AI in Empire City Undergrowth, which I know you've been involved in quite a bit, how would you describe it, as in compared to a normal RTS that you'd say?
Right. Well, the AI. Because everything's a lot more autonomous in this than they are in the common RTS. So things go about their own way, and you kind of hint at how they work. So it's quite different to a standard RTS in that they kind of have tasks that they need to do, but how they go about it, they completely decide themselves. So it's been an interesting challenge putting it together.
Yeah, I think when feedback comes into this, a lot of people say that they do find it frustrating, but I kind of want to say to people, just chill, relax. The game's a slower pace than you're probably used to with RTSs. Things will happen. You just get used to the way that the ants like to do things.
Yeah. In the there's a demo update coming out very soon. Should be probably within the week. But it's just updates the mechanics a bit, and it does make ants slightly more reactive.
Yeah, you said things are going to stay at further end of the trail more.
And if you move the trail, they'll move to the new point rather than going all the way home and coming back out again. So there are
good stuff.
Yeah, changes coming forward which should help ease that area. But yeah, ultimately we don't want to give people direct control.
Yeah, of course. Right, so what feature are you most looking forward to showing off that no one's seen yet? And I don't mean the stuff you're going to show today, like ultimately.
Oh, right. To be honest, it's when it's the huge Titan battles. I'm really looking forward to getting them fully made.
And you'll see on the screen at the moment, guys, some of the stuff in the old engine, the guys wrote themselves before they moved to Unreal Engine 4. But I cannot wait to see what this stuff looks like, in Unreal. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, Matt might be able to tell you a little bit more about. Yeah,
but you'll have heard that interview yesterday. Yeah.
But yeah, the Titan system, we're kind of playing with ways of doing it at the moment. We've got a couple of ideas of how the ants will be able to climb over the Titans themselves and attack their eyes and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's quite an exciting feature, and also the ability system that I've put in really plays into that. Because Titans will have an array of abilities, so they'll be able to send ants flying.
You're using the same system.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that just makes things so much simpler and more intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, excellent. Exactly. Right, okay, so I'd like to ask you as well. I've asked this to the other guys as well. How do you find working collaboratively but remotely, if you see what I mean?
It's got its own challenges. You have to be very trusting of one another. Because if someone's not working on it, there's no way of telling. Mm-hmm. apart from maybe you check the source control and see if they've actually committed anything. but yeah, you have to be very trusting of one another. And we have to use all these online tools to do it as well. Thankfully, we live in an age where it's possible, because it's not been possible for that long at all.
It's pretty much the first time in history that you can do that now. Yeah, last few years.
Yeah, the code base is stored online. The all our conversations are done through the internet, and we have very long. I mean, yesterday we had like a 3.5 hour meeting. You were present for a short period of it.
I was there for 20 minutes just because I do this kind of stuff. But yeah,
3.5 hour meeting over Skype, talking about all sorts actually, and really preparing the game for the EGX. Well, we're preparing what we need to do to get the game ready for its EGX Resd build.
Yeah, that's the EGX Resd, guys, which will be at the end of this month. I'll be there as well, so if anyone is in the area, in London, do come by. It's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. Right, okay, so I'm asking you this one specifically, John. What's been the most difficult thing to deal with feedback-wise? Because you do get a lot of feedback. Some of it's a bit angry on occasion. What have you found the most frustrating to deal with?
To be honest, the feedback's people are generally really nice about it.
Almost always, yeah.
Almost always, yeah. There's the odd one, but everyone's really positive and encouraging, and even ones that are a bit sharp with you are only doing it because they really want an amazing game.
Of course.
But yeah, to be honest, with feedback, what I find the most difficult is trying to keep track of it all. Because everything now on the internet has a way of communicating. Like YouTube, IndieDB,
comments everywhere.
Yeah, so everything is everywhere, and you don't want to leave the comments hanging, particularly if someone's got some criticism of something. You don't want to leave it there for others to start to read it and think, they're not responding to this or that. So it's keeping track of it and looking around for it.
Yeah, you've got YouTube, Facebook, IndieDB, Stomped. Yeah. You've just opened up a forum. Those by the way, the link will be down in the description, guys. Yeah, the forum which has just recently been opened. We'd love you to come and join the discussion there and give you. That's a really good central place for the guys to get feedback from. So do that. Okay, and finally, John, is there anything you'd like to show us that we haven't seen yet?
Right. Okay. So there's a couple of things actually. First of all is cheats.
Oh.
Right. So in building because Liam's actually working on the colony AI. I've worked on the individual ants AI themselves, but Liam is working on building the colonies themselves. As we do this, and as we create different level types, and as we create different difficulties, I've been putting in cheats to allow us to partially sometimes make the game easier for the computer, sometimes because the level demands a certain style of play. So I'll take you through those now. Alright. Okay, so in this level, we see here that there's three separate undergrounds. So that's the player's colony and 2 enemy colonies. Now, this level doesn't have the colony AI in itself, but what it does have is a load of cheats. And I'll just give you an example of this now. So if I click on this player's starting item, here on the right, we've got a list of cheats here. So we've got starting resources, auto spawn eggs, instant mature eggs, infinite resources, instant build, and hide underground as well. But if I press play and turn on instant build, infinite resources, instant mature eggs, and auto spawn eggs, and I just build something, I build some black ants, you see immediately the black ants pop out. It's quite
that's very cheeky.
Yeah, quite mesmerizing. So, and in this level, there's these 2 enemy colonies set up, and they already have loads of black ants built in each colony. And this surface area over here is not the actual surface that we've built. This is an old version, so ignore what it looks like. But if I press play here, we can just actually watch these 2 colonies, because they've both got the cheats set up on them, so they're instantly spawning creatures. And if we just...
Which god will win?
Which god will... It's gonna... Well, they're instantly spawning and they've got infinite resources, so so it could go on for quite some time.
Right, okay, guys, this isn't, however, a 4-hour video.
Yeah.
So I think, is there anything else you'd like to show us, John?
We can watch that clash for a little bit.
Okay.
So I've already gone through the data with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got the multiple colonies here. So now I think that's is
that it?
Yeah, I've shown you the other bits.
Yep, you have. Excellent. Thanks very much for your time today, John. Empire's the Undergrowth steaming ahead. There'll be hopefully some kind of announcement soon about where things are going with this game. But the guys are cracking on as fast as they can, as hard as they can. And just left me to say, John, thanks, John. Fun.